Today we're looking at the ASG CZ P-09 and pitting it against the Elite Force 1911 TAC. These are two premium gas blowback airsoft pistols that both are in the $120 to $130 range, and they're head-to-head competitors of each other. And we're going to find out which one of these guys is better. So stay tuned. Hey everybody, welcome. Today we're looking head-to-head at two premium gas blowback airsoft pistols. And both these guys have got accolades out the wazoo. This is the ASG CZ P-09, and it's won Popular Airsoft's best airsoft pistol multiple years. Whereas this is the Elite Force 1911 TAC. And this is considered by many people to be the gold standard airsoft gun. And its incredible popularity certainly supports that. So let's take a close look at both of these guns, the likenesses and the differences, and let's see if they're just equally tasty differences of the same thing, or if one is better than the other. Now, I'll go over the features of the guns really quickly, and then we'll look at individual shooting performance and then comparison side by side. Now, first we'll go over the ASG CZ P-09. Now, this is a replica of the real CZ P-09, which is a full-size polymer service pistol. The airsoft version has a metal slide up top and a polymer frame on the bottom. Now, it weighs about 2 pounds because it's got that polymer frame. It is gas blowback. It does have an adjustable hop-up. You get to the adjustable hop-up by pushing the slide back, removing the retaining pin, and then letting the slide go forward and just come off. And on the underneath side of it, you've got a Phillips head screw that serves as your adjustable hop-up. So you do have to have a tool to adjust the hop-up on this one. It's got a threaded outer barrel for any attachments you want to put on it, a nice ambidextrous safety with a crystal clear red dot that you can see on each side. And the polymer frame itself has got really nice stippling at the finger rest, really nice stippling on the grip itself, and laser cuts along the rail so that makes it really easy to rack it back. Now, the magazine on this gun is CO2, and it holds 25 rounds, which is pretty phenomenal. On the underneath of the frame, you've got an integrated 5-slot Picatinny tactical rail, so you can load your laser dots or your flashlights, and up top it's got 3-point white dot sights. All right, so now let's look at the Elite Force 1911 TAC. Now, the Elite Force 1911 TAC, with the exception of the pistol grips, is full metal, upper and lower. Similarly, up top it's got 3-point white dot sights. It's got laser cutting along the rail in similar places, so it's really easy to rack the gun back. It also has a fully ambidextrous safety on it. And in addition, this 1911 TAC has got a beaver tail safety, so this gun's not going to fire unless your hand is depressing that beaver tail safety. Now, the 1911s have been around for seems like ever, so there's not really much surprise about the styling on this. Nothing super fancy about it. The underside of this does have an integrated 3-slot Picatinny tactical rail, so you can also mount laser sights or flashlights on this gun as well. And you can see here the trigger's got a nice skeleton cutout on it, which is a nice touch. The magazine on this gun is also CO2, but this only holds 15 rounds. And you can get an extended mag for the 1911 TAC, which holds 27 rounds. But even with the extended mag that's going to be hanging out of your grip, you're only getting 2 more shots over what you get stock with the CZ P-09. The 1911 TAC also has an adjustable hop-up. You get to it the same way you do on the CZ P-09. You're going to rack the slide back, remove the retaining pin, let the slide move forward and just come right off. And when you flip it over, you're going to have a nice rotary style adjustable hop-up that you can move with your finger. Now, having an adjustable rotary style hop-up on this gun that you can adjust on the fly without any tools is certainly a plus. But I will tell you, there's a caveat to that. Having played with this gun quite a lot, that rotary style hop-up has a tendency to work itself loose. After you've been playing a few games, if you're shooting a lot with your pistol, it has a tendency to move away from where you had it hopped, and you do need to periodically readjust your hop-up to make sure it's right where you want it. Now, obviously, the two that we're looking at today are both the two-tone black and desert tan versions, and the CZ P-09 goes for $130, whereas the Elite Force 1911 TAC goes for $120. So they're right in the same price point, and having gone over the form and functions of both of these guys and the price points, let's go check out how they perform. The CZ P-09 does start off a little bit hot on a brand new CO2 cartridge, but after the first few shots it settles down well under 350 feet per second. So that's something you want to be mindful of if you're using it indoors. That CZ natural point of aim is super comfortable, and the slide action is very smooth. The Elite Force TAC on a brand new CO2 cartridge is going to start off right at 350 and settle in nicely from there. Similarly, the slide action on the 1911 is smooth like butter. Both of these guns have super easy follow-up shots, and the hop-ups on both of these keep them on a line at 50 and 70 feet. Now you can see the 1911 was much better grouping from the same distance. I'd say this really is a measure of consistency. It looks like most follow-up shots went where you thought they were going to go. There's a couple of shots that went errant up in here, you can see. One went errant down here, but by and large, they all stayed within the torso target. Now, on the CZ P-09, it's a little bit different story. It's kind of all over the place. Now, most of them stayed within the 7 ring. They all still stayed within the torso itself, but you can see there's likewise an errant shot up here. So maybe that's more, maybe that's a draw finger issue for me, that I'm pulling them up and to the left. But overall, you can just see that the CZ P-09 at 50 feet, same distance, was much more spread out. Still all within the torso, but much more spread out. Alright guys, so FPS wise, both of these guys settle down to shoot just under 350 feet per second, averaging between 330 and 340 with .2 kilogram BBs. So both are perfectly good to use indoors and outdoors. Now as far as the hop-up goes, both have exceptional hop-ups. Now you're going to have to weigh the pros and cons yourself on having a screw-style hop-up adjustment on the CZ P-09 that takes a tool to adjust but probably isn't going anywhere, versus having a dial-type hop-up adjustment on the Elite Force 1911 TAC, but you're going to have to readjust it every once in a while. Now, shooting-wise from equal distances, both of these guns hit their entire magazines inside of the torso ring, with the exception of 1 or 2 errant shots pulled left and high, but that was true for both guns. There was 2 shots each pulled left and high for both guns. So expect that that was more about where I was positioning my trigger finger on the trigger, and I was pushing it to the left and up a little bit in both cases. As far as comfort of shooting, I think the grip on the CZ P-09 fits me better, simply because I've got a pretty big hand and the oversized grip just feels super duper comfortable. Now that being said, I actually shot better with the 1911 TAC. As you see in the results, the 1911 TAC had much tighter grouping at the same distance, whereas the CZ P-09 was a little bit more spread out. Now, it did seem to me that that was because the 1911 had a little bit better consistency of shot than the CZ P-09. But I will throw it out there that it could be that I'm extremely comfortable with the 1911 TAC because I use it all the time, whereas the aiming style on the CZ P-09 is a little bit new to me, although not very much. I don't think that that really made much of a difference. I think the 1911 was just a little bit more consistent naturally, but again, could be because I'm more familiar and comfortable with that 1911 TAC. Now, as far as weight goes, they're both very close. Even though the CZ P-09 has got a polymer lower, it still weighs 2 pounds, and the 1911 TAC weighs 2.5 pounds. So it's not a significant difference. You can tell a difference when you go immediately from one to the other. You can tell that the 1911 is heavier, but once you start shooting it, that half a pound doesn't seem to really make a difference. Now, you may not like my verdict on these, but I think they're about equal. I think you can't go wrong on which one of these you get. I think you need to look at the things that we've covered today as far as the grip size goes, the angle of aim, which is slightly different, and maybe even the weight of them, and decide which one of these would be best for you if you're looking for a sidearm in this price range. Me personally, I feel like the 1911 was just a little bit more accurate and consistent. But hey guys, if you had experience with both of these guns and you've got a different opinion, we definitely want to hear about it. Share it with the users in the comment section below, because we're here to make content that is useful for everybody. And if we miss something or there's something that you'd like to add, we definitely want to hear about it. So guys, we really do hope you found this content helpful. And if you want to help our channel out, like, comment, share, subscribe, all of that good stuff, because it really does help us get out in front of new people. And if you haven't already, join us on our airsoft journey by hitting that subscribe button and that notification bell so that you don't miss a single video that comes out every Tuesday with bonus videos on Fridays. And until then, we'll see you next time.